Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was a few minutes ago. And today it's a brr and it's a windy day today. So Starlight will not be able to make her video outside. It's too windy and too cold to sit and make a video outside today, and I don't have another place right now to make a video. So sorry about Starlight making a video in her car again, but until the wind calms down and it's warmer, then I will be able to be outside and make a video. So, but anyway, no matter what, I really hope that you're getting out in nature somewhere. And I don't know what it's like out in your area, but try to at least get out for a little bit depending on the weather. And also, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you could find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give my videos a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Swing by and say hi to Starlight. And also, you could share my videos with your family, your friends. And let's see, I see lots of dogs. So dogs and a crow, because I seen those earlier. And also, besides sharing my videos with dogs or crows, you can also check out my playlist. And don't forget the notification bell and Starlight. I have not found my bell yet. I must have left it on the grass somewhere. So, but don't forget the notification bell, ding, ding, ding. And also, you could follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that's Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So I am going to make the video that I made yesterday when it was too windy, and I had to delete that video because I couldn't use it. It was just too windy. The wind was overtaking the video. So anyway, today it has nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with you. You're probably wondering, what Starlight, what has nothing to do with me? There's many times we all go through this, and this starts a big, huge problem amongst us because of this bullshit that they fed all of us, trying to separate us. We are all human. Well, maybe, I don't know if that's 100% accurate right there, because sometimes I do wonder. So in these days, with the robots, who knows really, with everything that's going on in the world. Sometimes I think it's like, to us it could be new news, where it could have been like something that's been going on for a long time, and now they're just bringing it out, just like the way they talk about, like, your cell phones, where you think you're buying a brand new cell phone, but then you find out really that is an old cell phone, even though they're just trying to make more money off of you. So it does make me wonder about people in this world, is even though they are bringing out all these robots out there, is this really now that they're bringing it out, or is it something that's been around for a while but now they're deciding to bring it out? I don't know. So anyway, those are kind of things that I wonder about. And the reason why I mention that is that like, I made the video yesterday, but it was too windy, is we have been lied to from the beginning of time. So you got to keep on asking yourself questions like, really, what is the truth out in this reality? Do we even know the truth? What they say, about so many things with us as far as being human, or at least, I don't know, most of us being human. Some of us are part alien and human. Some, they got all kinds of stuff out there as far as people, or even people that look like people. Are they really people? I don't know. So, because I do wonder, I've seen some crazy ass stuff out there, and you might have seen stuff like that out there too. So anyway, this video is that they've done this from the beginning of time, is try to separate us and divide us, because of skin color. And they, like Starlight, um like has we all have done those applications. It might be at your hospital, it might be at for a job. What race are you, like what one do you feel is more accurate to who you are as far as a human being. And so I have to say, it is a joke. Why do they do this? For a job why does it matter to go get a job? Does it matter what skin color? Now I understand it does matter, like what kind of language you speak, so they could have a question like, because if they have people at a job, and you wouldn't want to put a person that speaks Spanish, only Spanish, don't speak English, into a company where everybody speaks English. That would really, because Starlight has been there, done that, where I was the only one that worked at a company. Everybody else spoke Spanish. I was the only one that could only speak English. That was a horrible thing to experience. I was being talked about. Nobody was communicating properly to me, so I knew what I was supposed to do. It was a horrible experience to go through. So, I know that they were talking about me because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, but they weren't communicating because they didn't know how. Why would you hire an English spoken person when you got a manager that speaks little English? Nobody could help me out. So sorry, but Starlight left. It made no sense. They really, in that kind of a situation, if they want English and Spanish people are different kind of tons, as far as language, then they should hire a person that knows all those kind of languages, or even hire a couple people that speak the languages that they need, so they can hire the right people for that company. So yes, I understand on an application, what language do you speak? Yeah, because if they don't have anybody to help you out, like at a hospital, they should not just have English people, because you're going to get people of, from different countries and stuff like that speak different languages, and you definitely want to be able to understand what they're saying. And that this is beginning of time, is, when the Indians had the land stolen from them, is, all that stuff. They didn't know their language, and it's horrible what happened. And they've been doing stuff to us from the beginning of time. So you can't believe everything that the school system told you, what we've been programmed to believe and think is true, and dividing us, because of one person has that skin color. And it's a big, huge problem in the world. And because we're not all speaking the same language, that is a huge problem in the world. And, Starlight will bring up some stuff that you might have not have thought of about, if you speak a different language and you're in, United States or whatever country you're at. And if most people speak English and you speak a different tongue, like another language, is this I've seen and witnessed. And people that speak English, or depending on the language, we do get upset when people do this, and this does happen a lot more than it should, is when people speak two languages, they will speak English, out in public, outside, and then they talk to somebody else, and there's, they both can speak English, but they also speak, maybe Spanish or something like that, another language. And it's a big no-no, is to, because there's somebody that's English and doesn't know your language, is to talk in another language while an English person, you know, a person that speaks English only, and then switch it up and talk about, you know, a different, talk in another tongue, like another language. And that causes a big, huge problem in the world. I actually worked for a couple like this, and I was really upset with them because they both spoke English very well, and they spoke another language. And it was very rude of them to hire me, an English spoken only person. And as I was in their house, they would talk English sometimes, and then it would switch over to a different language. And it was a very rude thing, because how do I know if they're talking bad about Starlight? Maybe Starlight didn't do something, and I would never know what they were talking about. So that is a big, huge problem in the world, is people that can talk both different languages, but they switch it over. And a lot of companies do that out in the world. Is you could go in a gas station and you got two people that work at the gas station that speaks two different language, great. But then when the customers are in there, they switch over, and they, you know, when they see that you know, speak only English or whatever, they switch their language where you don't understand what they're saying. So it's a very rude thing to do, and it really causes a lot of problems. But that is something I wasn't planning on talking about. But the other problem is that we all bleed red. And a lot of times we can go out in public, and, you know, this happens to all of us somewhere in our life, that we could think somebody has a problem with us because of their outward appearance. Many times this happens. And God put me on this journey for so many things, and I will be making a video soon for those of you that are new and you don't know who I am and you don't know my story. And, you know, so I'm going to explain why Starlight is living in her car. How did this happen? What is going on with Starlight? Why, you know, like, how come she doesn't go get a job like everybody else? So I will be making a video on that soon. But on this journey that I've been on here is that God has put me in this situation, and where I've traveled from New York all the way to here to California, and I've been in and out of food pantries, and I've seen a lot of stuff on this journey. So on this journey here, just like the other day, is what I mentioned in the video yesterday, is there is a man, and I'm going to say it because I'm here. Race is an illusion. You got to understand that. Just like time is illusion, your reality is illusion. All this stuff is, you know, not as we've been lied to. We've been programmed from the very beginning of time. And not a lot of you are going to understand what I'm talking about when I talk about this. Some of you are totally going to understand and know what the heck I'm talking about. But a good portion of you are not going to understand this, and that is okay, because nobody understands that right away. So they have tried to divide us and separate us to cause a war between, you know, people. No matter what skin color, you are still a person. Some of you might be like Starlight, got some alien in her and some, you know, human, you know. So somebody could have a bad countenance on their face, and you could be out in public, and this just happened to me the other day. I love being friendly, and I was trying to be friendly, trying to give eye contact to a certain man that was working at a rest area on the thruway. And no matter how many times I tried to give him eye contact, he looked the other way. You know, he wasn't giving me eye contact, and I was thinking, but Starlight did the right thing. I was like, you know what? You're not going to mess my day up. I don't know why, this man would not give me eye contact. So it made me think, the normal way that people would think is that, maybe he's racist, maybe he's got a problem. Because I'll tell you what, some men have issues with women. And there's women that have issues with men because of their past, that they've gone through some shit, so I've definitely have witnessed this, where I've had men, when I was going to the door at the store, Starlight's really quick about opening up the door, But, as females, we should be able to walk to the door, and if there's a man or a female, we should really open up the door for a person. Look around first before you head in the door. If you see somebody coming, don't be rude and just, walk away and act, that is really rude, and there's times that we might be in a rush and we're not thinking and we have to get somewhere, because that does happen. But don't be rude when you see somebody coming to the door and you know what, you can't wait like 1 minute for them to come to the door, and hold the door for them. Starlight has been guilty so many times opening up doors for men. We really, as women, really need to be patient enough for the men to be a man and open up the door for a female. The society, the way they have really messed people up, trying to divide even the males and the females, trying to get men to go with men and women to go with women, that is not that's not why God. If you can't make babies together, that is going totally against why God created us in the first place. It is to be fruitful and multiply. But, I am not here to judge you. I'm just letting you know how God is, and that's why Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed in the Bible, is because of that stuff was going on, and because it got carried away. And women, there's a woman that they really did a horrible stuff to her. It was a daughter, to a father in that part of the Bible. So anyway, they have divided us and separated us and been lying to us and trying to cause a war, so then we fight amongst each other. We need to come together as a whole, the way God intended us, not to be divided. This even happens in the churches, there's a lot of churches out there. It will be like, say, I've seen it on both sides. I have gone in and I have been into these churches where every single person was white. You did not see, anyone of color. You didn't see Chinese people, no one. Asians, Puerto Ricans, nothing. It was all just straight white people. It was like a Hitler church. Not kidding. The pastor had like a Hitler hairstyle, and and then I have seen where churches, it was all of people of color, beautiful people. But you know what? They had a thing outside, out in public, and I try to be friendly to these people that were so-called to be Christians. The Christians are supposed to be friendly, and they're not supposed to be racist. There's nothing in the Bible saying, you're supposed to just stay to your kind. But they, like not to reach out to other people, because, if there is a hell, then you're supposed to try to win everybody so that they don't go to hell, which that is another lie that they actually put in that the Christians actually twist that around, So I have been treated rude by a whole congregation of a church group, cult, where they didn't want nothing to do with white people in their body, and you can't even call it a body of Christ, because body of Christ is Christians, so you got to really watch out, is because even if somebody has a sour puss on their face, it has nothing to do with you. Just like the other day, I was trying to give eye contact to this guy. I don't know why, but he wouldn't look me in the eye. No matter how many times I try to, I get out of myself and I go out of my way, and I always try to make people feel comfortable around me. And I always send love to, no matter what color skin you are, no matter if you're from another country, if you speak another language, and I don't care what size, body type you are. I don't care if you're an older person. I don't care if you're a homeless person. You know what? Starlight, now there's some people I do try to avoid if they got unclean spirits. You bet your ass Starlight's going the other way. I don't want to get, too close to that stuff, because there's something unclean about that person. But we really need to be mindful, don't let your mind play tricks on you, and thinking that, hey, that person doesn't like me, they're racist, or whatever, because what they're going through, you don't know, number one. And like I said, this one man that I was trying to get eye contact, trying to be friendly with, I felt like he was avoiding me, But, God is going to put us through stuff like this to challenge us and to test us out. So all these are tests. Later on, actually the whole time that I was at this rest area, because I was getting my salad ready, getting things ready for later, it was a great place to pull over to do some of my stuff. And there was 2 stray dogs. And I had all these cans of sardines that I've been wanting to feed the coyotes. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to take 2 of my own containers that I need, and I'm not going to drive away without feeding these dogs. I got these cans of sardines, and I'm going to feed these dogs. And, the guy I thought he was avoiding me. I thought he was being stuck up. I thought that, and I knew that that was not true, because what I said is, you know what? I'm not going to, he's going through something. I'm not going to let him affect me. So I did. I went on my own merry way. But, we do get thoughts thinking, oh, what, he doesn't like women, or, ooh, what, does he not like, because I have white skin, and maybe he's jealous because he wants white skin and he doesn't have white skin, and now he's going to hate me because of what their ancestors went through and all this stuff, This is what we go through. These, I am being as real as possible. These are the thoughts that we can get in our head. Just because you get these thoughts in your head, it doesn't mean that those thoughts are real. So just because you go somewhere, no matter where you are, this happens all the time, is ignore this. It has nothing to do with you. If you just keep yourself right, keep sending love out in the world, because the world needs it, don't shut your heart out because somebody is not giving you eye contact. Don't shut your love out in the world, because they have a problem. Maybe they're going through shit. Maybe they just lost a loved one or something, and maybe they don't want to give eye contact because they don't want you to look in the eyes of the soul, by looking at them, But this man that I thought had a beef with me or had some kind of problem with me, I'm like, what is it? I'm a female? What is it that I'm a certain age, trying to figure out. You know what? When I was feeding those dogs, he actually came up, out of nowhere and said, wow, hey, that is really awesome that you're doing this. See, it had nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you. People are just doing their thing. God is always going to test us and challenge us and see how we're going to respond. Is that guy going to ruin your whole day? You can't prove that the guy had a problem with you or that lady had a problem with you. Now, there are people that do have problems, with white women or even women, period. That's true. There's women that absolutely can't stand men. Yes, because they've gone through shit. They don't understand why that happened, so they're angry, and they could be angry at the world. They could be angry at God because, this is what a lot of people do. Is something bad happens to them, they curse God out and they get upset with God. But they lack understanding. They don't understand who God is and what God is about and why these things happen. So anyway, it's not about you. All your thoughts are not your own. No matter what, be yourself. Send love out in the world and pray for those people. Pray for the people that have a problem. They need to get healed. This is what they've done to us. They've caused this problem. We're supposed to be, together, and we need each other. I've had so many people helping me on this journey. It wasn't just one race. Everybody, different races, and that we shouldn't be labeled like that. It shouldn't be like what race are you on an application for a job? Maybe what language, yes, but it doesn't matter. What are you just going to hire, because if I say I'm, maybe they don't want to hire white people at this job. Maybe they just want certain races, So what is the sense of doing the whole, what race are you? that should not be on the application. Now, if they need people in a certain language, yes, that is a different story. Hey, you know, we need to hire a Spanish person that speaks Spanish here. You know, so if if you can't speak Spanish, then we really, it would not be wise for us to hire you, because nobody will be able to communicate with you. Totally understand that. So it has nothing to do with you. Keep your heart right with the people. Send love out in the world. Keep on trying to give eye contact to no matter who they are. Remember, your thoughts are not your own, and we need to send love to those people and ask God that they would get healed, and that's what they need. They need healing. Many people in the world need to get healed. Some people, they think they're fine. Fine. I'm fine. Well, you know what? Fine is not good enough. So anyway, I love you so much. This is Starlight. You could give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can also share my videos with your family or friends. I gotta look this up, but there's these little animals out here. I got a picture of it. I gotta just Google and find out. Whoops, it's getting a little breezy in here. Woo, that's some cold air. They look like squirrels, but their ears are small. So I gotta figure out what they are. They're so cute, and they have holes in the ground. And they're not prairie dogs, so it's some other animals, but I love all these animals. Today I was finally able to take a picture of one of these animals, so you could share my videos with one of those animals. I'm not sure what they are, so, and also a seagull, because I was trying to feed the seagulls yesterday, last night. So anyway, you could check out with my playlist and follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and it's Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So if you are a person that speaks many languages, please be mindful. It is very rude to talk in another language when you could speak two different languages around a group of people, like, that speak English, and then you switch over to somebody that speaks two languages. It is very rude to do that. It does cause a big, huge problem. It makes people think that you're talking bad about them. And this can happen at the workplace. It can happen anywhere, anywhere. So just be mindful. If you do, just say, okay, I could talk to that person later about what we were talking about, or I could send them a message on my phone and communicate that way, because you don't want to purposely stir up things, out in the air, and cause people to think that you're talking bad. And this goes with lots of companies out there, like gas stations do this. It could be a Dollar Tree, if they're, hey, I see this lady is in here. She don't look Spanish, and we both could speak English, but we're going to switch over and talk about Spanish, and we might be, judging her and calling her names and all that in another time. So, and I'm not saying people are doing that, but you need to be mindful of how you're communicating out in the world if you speak other languages. Anyway, I love you. So nobody's better than anybody. We all bleed red, and I'm not saying that we're all human, because that is questionable, because we've been lied to, and some of you might think that is crazy, because aliens are here. Is that they look like you and me. So check out alien DNA blood types. So anyway, I love you. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.